Hi everybody, Gerald here. It's time to get on and create the results you're after. So today we're going to look at a very powerful goal planning system. It has only 5 steps, but they're all very important. Starting with the first one, stating your goal. If you guys have a journal, it would be good to use it. I'm also going to attach a worksheet which you can download to the video, so you might want to pause and get that out. And you can do this as we go. So in stating your goal, it wants to be something like, I want, and then the clear result that you want. For example, I want to be a successful fitness coach, right? So that's a positive outcome that you can easily visualize. Some people move away from things and they go, I don't want this and I don't want that, but that doesn't help your brain. So your brain needs something clear to focus on. Step number 2, and we'll go into all these steps in more detail as we go through the slides. This is a really important step as well, and that is why do you want this thing? What will it do for you? And we're going to bore in and dive deep and find out what values, what emotional payoff, what's in the deal for you, because when that's clear, your motivation will be really, really high. Third point is, how are you going to get there? So we're going to discuss planning and strategies in detail in point 3. Number 4 is also another one of those really critical ones, which is if you don't get it right, it will sabotage you. So whenever you start something new, like a big goal, you're going to have naturally a little bit of internal resistance, or what I call a handbrake. And it could be based on things that have gone wrong in the past, fears that you might have from that, or fear of failure. Even some people have a fear of success. So there's a few things that usually have to be cleaned up on the inside, and we'll talk about that in point 4. And then point 5, finally, we need to check in your world, what we call an ecology check, how this change will affect the people in your lives, whether that's going to be a positive or negative, and if it's a negative, how you're going to deal with it. The same things applies to any systems that you're involved in and any situations, cultural things you might be involved in. You need to just do a check and make sure that nothing there is going to trip you up. Okay, so let's move on to point 1. So point 1 is state your goal in the positive. You get what you focus on. So what we're doing here is we're creating an image in words. We're creating an image that your brain can focus on, and whatever it focuses on, it can create. So you're also creating, with this focus, with bringing this thing to a point, you're creating an intentional automatic program that is going to go into your subconscious, and your subconscious will start moving you towards this goal. That's its job. So the next step of this process is also unusual, and it's not normally done in goal planning, and it's to do with your underlying values. Like, what is the emotional payoff for you in doing this thing? People get distracted with thinking that it's about external things, cars or money or success, but actually the payoff is to do with what you get out of it emotionally. So the thing you have to do here is imagine that you've achieved your goal, and then just ask yourself, well, what does that do for me? How does that make me feel? You might go, well, it makes me feel happy. And then the next question, you can't just leave it there. You've got to keep asking. So, so if I'm happy, what does that do for me? And what we're looking for is the really deep underlying values. And if you analyze, well, if I'm happy, I'm peaceful. So perhaps it's actually peace that you want. But this is the work that we don't normally do in goal setting. So this is very, very important to know why you're doing it. Okay, now we get to what I would call the easy stuff. This is like the operational strategy and plan. And most of you who have any sort of professional experience won't have any trouble with this at all. So, what is your strategy? Do you have a plan B as well in case the first one doesn't work? Next question to ask is this something that is in your control, or will you need someone else, another expert, to help you out? What is the first step? That's important to get people moving. And how will you measure your progress? What's sort of KPIs will you use to sort of check that you're actually moving towards your goal? And are there internal resources, that you might need? Will you need to upskill or learn some new things? What about external resources, funding, and will you need to cooperate with other experts? And as I said before, in most cases you will have to grow and learn new things. So, but for most of you, I think that this step is the sort of things that you have done many times before. So I'm sure you won't have too many problems with it. Number 4, the how, and another how, is another one of those really unusual things which you won't have come across in your normal goal planning world. So this is to do with any internal resistance or procrastination that you feel that's preventing you from achieving this goal. And I would say 99% of us that set ourselves a goal do experience some level of internal resistance. And just to quickly go over this, and we'll cover this when we do a one-on-one session, we'll go through this in great detail. But basically what happens is that over time we build up a bit of a library of, let's say, traumatic experiences that have happened to us, and because they're very upsetting, we don't want them to happen to us all the time. So we basically create, like, every time we have a traumatic experience, we create like a mini program which basically says, well, I'm going to protect you from having or experiencing anything like this again. Unfortunately, as time goes by, we tend to build up quite a lot of baggage and a lot of these little internal resistance programs that are all there to protect us, but they also act as a huge handbrake. So we need to make contact with these parts and work out what their positive outcome is. Like, what are they trying to achieve? And again, this is something that I probably will need to lead you guys through. It won't take long, but we'll make contact with those parts. And in most cases, we'll find that there's a part that really wants to get on with it, and there's another polarized part that really doesn't want you to get on with it, and it's what's putting a spanner in the works. So I'm going to leave that there for now, and when we work one-on-one, we'll go through this process in detail, and we'll be able to resolve these things pretty much once and for all in one session. And you will find that this will release a hell of a lot of motivational energy. So it's very important. And finally, another fairly easy step, and this is called an ecology check. So what we're going to do is, once we've completed the other steps, we're going to look at how if you achieve this outcome, how is that going to affect important relationships in your life? Is it going to be a positive thing or a negative thing? So it's just something you need to review and be aware of, so that if there's particularly negative effects, that you've got a strategy in place to deal with that. And also you'll find that that big outcomes are going to affect other areas of your life, like systems that you use or are involved in, maybe cultural things, family things. So it's just worthwhile as a final step, just reviewing how the achievement of this outcome is going to affect other areas of your life and having strategies in place just in case. So that's pretty much it, guys, and we can wrap that up now, and I will attach the worksheet and I will send this to you, and then we can make a time and we'll go through this step by step, and I think you will be very happy with the result. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now.